The beloved 1995 comedy Friday brought joy to millions with its hilarious portrayal of neighborhood life. But behind the laughter lies a heartbreaking reality. 7 talented actors who helped create this cultural phenomenon have tragically passed away, leaving fans mourning not just their iconic characters, but the real people who brought them to life. Their deaths remind us that even our favorite comedies can't shield us from life's harsh truths. Tommy Tiny Lister Jr., Debo. When Tommy Tiny Lister Jr. rode that tiny bicycle through the neighborhood in Friday, he created one of the most memorable movie bullies of all time. Standing at 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighing 300 pounds, Lister transformed the character Debo into a figure that was both terrifying and somehow unforgettable, making audiences laugh while also making them genuinely nervous about what he might do next. Born on June 24, 1958, in Compton, California, Tommy Lister got his nickname Tiny as a joke because of his massive size. Despite being born with a detached retina that left him blind in his right eye, Lister never let this challenge stop him from pursuing his dreams. He first made a name for himself in athletics, becoming a shot-put champion in college and later trying his hand at professional wrestling, where he performed under the character name Zeus and even faced off against wrestling legend Hulk Hogan. Lister's acting career began in the late 1980s, and his imposing physical presence quickly made him a go-to choice for intimidating characters. He appeared in major films like The Dark Knight, where he played the prisoner who throws the detonator off the ferry, and The Fifth Element, where he portrayed President Lindbergh. His television work included voice acting on the animated series Fishhooks and guest appearances on shows like NYPD Blue. But it was his role as Debo that truly made him a household name. The circumstances surrounding Lister's death on December 10, 2020, were particularly tragic given the timing. He passed away at his home in Marina del Rey, California, at the age of 62 due to hypertension and atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease. His death occurred during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, though the virus was not listed as a contributing factor to his passing. Tommy Lister's legacy extends far beyond just playing the neighborhood bully, as he brought depth and unexpected humanity to characters that could have been simple stereotypes, proving that even the most intimidating figures on screen can leave lasting impressions through genuine talent and dedication to their craft. John Witherspoon. Willie Jones. John Witherspoon brought unforgettable humor to Friday as Willie Jones, Craig's no-nonsense father, who delivered some of the movie's most quotable lines from his bathroom throne. His portrayal of the tough-love dad, who wasn't afraid to speak his mind about his son's life choices, resonated with audiences because Witherspoon made the character feel like someone's real father, complete with all the embarrassing moments and brutal honesty that comes with family relationships. Born John Witherspoon on January 27, 1942, in Detroit, Michigan, he later changed his last name to Witherspoon when he began his entertainment career. Growing up as one of 11 siblings, Witherspoon discovered his talent for making people laugh at an early age and eventually moved into stand-up comedy in the late 1970s. His comedy career took off when he became a regular performer on The Richard Pryor Show, which opened doors for him in both television and film throughout the 1980s. Witherspoon became a beloved figure in comedy through his roles in multiple successful projects, most notably playing Pops Williams on the Wayans Bros. Television series from 1995 to 1999. He also provided the voice of Grandad Freeman on the popular animated series The Boondocks, which ran from 2005 to 2014. His film career included memorable appearances in movies like Vampire in Brooklyn, Boomerang, and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, but he continued to reprise his role as Willie Jones in all 3 Friday movies, making him a constant presence throughout the entire franchise. On October 29, 2019, Witherspoon died suddenly at his home in Sherman Oaks, California, at the age of 77 from a heart attack. His family described the loss as shocking, noting that he had been actively performing stand-up comedy right up until his death and had several upcoming shows scheduled. The entertainment industry mourned the loss deeply, with fellow comedians and actors expressing how much his mentorship and friendship had meant to them over the years. John Witherspoon's legacy lives on through the countless laughs he provided and the genuine warmth he brought to every character he played, proving that the best comedy often comes from authentic, relatable moments that remind us of the people in our own lives. Bernie Mac, Pastor Clever. Bernie Mac's appearance in Friday as Pastor Clever was brief but unforgettable, delivering one of the film's most quoted lines during the neighborhood church scene. Though his role was small, Mac's natural comedic timing and commanding presence made every second count, showing audiences a glimpse of the star power that would later make him one of America's most beloved comedians, and proving that even the smallest parts can leave the biggest impressions when performed by someone with genuine talent. Born Bernard Jeffrey McCullough on October 5, 1957, on Chicago's South Side, Mac grew up in a challenging environment that would later fuel much of his comedy material. After losing his mother to cancer when he was just 16 years old, followed by the deaths of his brother and father, Mac discovered that humor could be both a coping mechanism and a way to bring joy to others during difficult times. He began performing stand-up comedy in Chicago's subway systems for spare change, before working his way up through the city's comedy club circuit, all while holding various day jobs to support his family. Mac's career reached new heights when he joined fellow comedians Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, and D.L. Hewley in the original Kings of Comedy tour, which became a cultural phenomenon and was later turned into a successful Spike Lee documentary. His biggest success came with The Bernie Mac Show, which ran from 2001 to 2006, and earned him Emmy and Golden Globe nominations while showcasing his unique ability to blend family-friendly humor with his signature bold comedic style. He also appeared in major Hollywood films, including the Ocean's 11 franchise, Bad Santa, and Guess Who, establishing himself as both a television star and a bankable movie actor. On August 9, 2008, Mac died at Northwestern Memorial Hospital in Chicago, at the age of 50 from complications related to pneumonia. Though he had been diagnosed with sarcoidosis, an inflammatory lung disease, in the 1980s, his publicist stated that his death was not directly related to this condition. Mac had been hospitalized for several weeks and was in intensive care on a ventilator before going into cardiac arrest, with his family by his side during his final moments. Bernie Mac's legacy extends far beyond his brief appearance in Friday, as he paved the way for future generations of comedians through his fearless approach to comedy and his ability to find humor in life's most challenging moments, leaving behind a body of work that continues to inspire and entertain audiences worldwide. Anthony A.J. Johnson Easel. Anthony A.J. Johnson created one of Friday's most memorable characters in Easel, the neighborhood crackhead, whose unpredictable antics and desperate schemes provided both comic relief and a sobering look at addiction's impact on communities. Johnson's portrayal was both hilarious and heartbreaking, as he brought humanity to a character who could have easily been just a stereotype, making Easel someone audiences could laugh with while also feeling sympathy for his struggles and poor life choices. Born Anthony Johnson on February 1, 1966, in Compton, California, he grew up in a family connected to the entertainment industry, as his father Eddie Smith was a stuntman and co-founder of the Black Stuntmen's Association. This connection helped Johnson enter the film industry in his early 20s, and he credited his father with giving him opportunities to work in various film productions. He also received early support from comedian Robin Harris, who gave him chances to perform stand-up comedy even after audiences initially rejected his performances, helping him develop the resilience needed for a career in entertainment. Johnson's breakthrough role came in 1990 when he starred as Eze in House Party, which launched his career and led to appearances in several notable films throughout the 1990s. He appeared in Lethal Weapon 3 as a drug dealer, had a role in Menace II Society, and later starred in movies like The Players Club, BAPS, and I Got the Hookup. His television work included appearances on popular shows like Martin, Malcolm and Eddie, and Moesha, establishing him as a recognizable face in both film and television comedy during this era. On September 6, 2021, Johnson was found unresponsive in a Los Angeles store and was rushed to a hospital where he was pronounced dead at the age of 55. His autopsy later revealed that he died from chronic ethanol use, which means his death was related to long-term alcohol abuse, though no alcohol or drugs were found in his system at the time of his death. His wife Lexis chose to make his cause of death public as a warning about the dangerous effects of alcohol abuse, hoping to help others who might be struggling with similar issues. Anthony Johnson's legacy lives on through the laughter he brought to audiences and his willingness to tackle difficult roles that highlighted real social issues, showing that comedy can be both entertaining and meaningful when performed by someone who understands the human condition. LaWanda Page, Jehovah's Witness. LaWanda Page's brief appearance in Friday as a Jehovah's Witness who comes to Craig's door resulted in one of the film's most shocking and hilarious moments, proving that even the smallest roles can steal entire scenes when performed by a true comedy legend. After Craig rudely slams the door in her face, Page delivered a string of profanity-filled insults that caught audiences completely off guard, creating a moment that was both unexpected and unforgettable, because it showed how quickly a seemingly innocent situation could turn into something completely outrageous. Born LaWanda Page on October 19, 1920, in Cleveland, Ohio, she grew up during an era when opportunities for African-American women in entertainment were extremely limited, but her natural comedic talent and fearless personality helped her break through barriers that many others couldn't overcome. Page began her career in comedy clubs and nightclubs during the 1940s and 50s, developing a bold and often risque style that challenged social conventions and paved the way for future generations of female comedians who weren't afraid to push boundaries and speak their minds. Page became a household name through her role as Aunt Esther Anderson on the groundbreaking television series Sanford and Son, which ran from 1972 to 1977 and made her one of the most recognizable faces in American comedy. Her character was the sharp-tongued, Bible-thumping sister-in-law of Fred Sanford, and Page brought such authenticity and humor to the role that Aunt Esther became a cultural icon who represented strong, outspoken women who weren't afraid to stand up for themselves. She also appeared in the spin-off series Sanford Arms, and later reprised her role in the 1980s series Sanford, showing the lasting power of her most famous character. On September 14, 2002, Page died at the age of 81 in Los Angeles due to complications from diabetes, a disease she had been battling for several years. Her death marked the end of an era for comedy fans who had grown up watching her fearless performances, and the entertainment industry lost one of its most pioneering figures who had helped open doors for countless performers who came after her. LaWanda Page's legacy continues to inspire comedians and actors who understand that true comedy comes from fearless authenticity and the courage to say what others might be afraid to express, proving that the best performers are those who aren't afraid to be completely themselves, no matter what anyone else might think. Reynaldo Rey, Red's father. Reynaldo Rey's role as Red's father in Friday provided one of the film's most relatable parenting moments, as he tried to help his son get his stolen bicycle back from the neighborhood bully Debo, not realizing he was actually making the situation much worse. Rey's portrayal of a well-meaning father who wanted to solve his child's problems showed the genuine concern that parents have when they see their kids being picked on, even when their efforts to help might not always work out as planned, creating a moment that was both funny and touching. Born Harold Reynolds on January 27, 1940, in Sequoia County, Oklahoma, Rey earned a bachelor's degree in education from Kansas State Teachers College and initially worked as a teacher for 7 years before pursuing his dream of becoming an entertainer. He moved to Cleveland, Ohio, where he became a member of the Karamu House Theater, a renowned institution known for developing talented African-American actors, and it was there that he began to hone his skills in both comedy and dramatic performance before eventually making his way to New York City to join the Harlem Theater Group. Rey's entertainment career spanned several decades and included more than 50 film credits, with notable appearances in popular movies like White Men Can't Jump, House Party 3, and Harlem Nights, where he worked alongside some of the biggest names in comedy and entertainment. His television work was equally impressive, as he had a recurring role as Rey on the NBC sitcom 227, appearing in nearly 20 episodes during the show's 4-year run, and even writing a couple of episodes himself. Rey also spent 18 years opening for comedy legend Red Fox in Las Vegas, and on tour throughout the United States, which helped him develop his comedic timing and stage presence that served him well throughout his acting career. On May 28, 2015, Ray died at a Los Angeles hospital at the age of 75 due to complications from a stroke he had suffered the previous year. His manager confirmed that he had been receiving treatment for the stroke-related complications, but his condition eventually became too serious for him to recover from, leading to his peaceful passing, surrounded by his family members who had been supporting him throughout his health struggles. Reynaldo Ray's legacy lives on through his decades of work that brought laughter and joy to audiences across multiple generations, proving that true entertainers are those who can connect with people through honest, heartfelt performances that reflect the real experiences and emotions that everyone can understand and relate to. Michael Clarke Duncan, uncredited craps player. Michael Clarke Duncan's appearance in Friday as an uncredited craps player was so brief that many viewers might have missed it, but his imposing physical presence during the iconic scene where Debo knocks out Red made him impossible to ignore once you knew to look for him. Standing at 6 feet 5 inches tall, with a muscular build that would later make him famous, Duncan was simply part of the background crowd, yet his role in this small neighborhood gathering represented the beginning of what would become one of Hollywood's most beloved success stories. Born on December 10, 1957, in Chicago, Illinois, Duncan grew up in a single-parent household and worked various jobs to help support his family, including digging ditches for a gas company, working as a bouncer at nightclubs, and providing bodyguard services for celebrities like Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, and Notorious B.I.G. His massive size and gentle personality made him perfect for protection work. But Duncan always dreamed of becoming an actor, and he spent years taking acting classes while working these other jobs to pay the bills and support his mother, who had raised him on her own. Duncan's breakthrough came when he landed the role of John Coffey in The Green Mile in 1999, a performance that earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor and transformed him from an unknown bodyguard into one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces. His success continued with major roles in films like The Whole Nine Yards, Planet of the Apes, The Scorpion King, and Daredevil, where he played the villain Kingpin. He also appeared in Sin City and had a memorable role in The Dark Knight as one of the prisoners on the ferry, showing his range as an actor who could handle both action and dramatic roles with equal skill. On September 3, 2012, Duncan suffered a heart attack at his home in Los Angeles and was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where he died at the age of 54 despite efforts to save his life. His death shocked the entertainment industry and his fans around the world, as Duncan had recently become a vegetarian and appeared to be taking better care of his health, making his sudden passing even more unexpected and tragic for those who knew and loved him. Michael Clarke Duncan's legacy extends far beyond his small role in Friday, as he proved that dreams can come true at any age, and that kindness and determination can take someone from the most humble beginnings to the biggest stages in the world.